and he turns to me and he points to whoever it was on the TV, and I wish I could remember what we were watching, but I don't. And he goes, he's 5, by the way. Preface, my son is 5. He goes, look at that dumb asshole.
It's true.
Beauties. Gucci. What's up? What's up, Benzini? Cheers to the old UK boys.
You always tell me that it's all up in my head. You got me overlooking all of my options. You got me going back and forth with my conscience. All up in my bed. You always see that.
All right, Wednesday, November 29th. Guys, we have got episode 17 loaded up for you here. Steve returns from London, Benzini, Soraya, me, and special guest Jeremy, Downtown Soccer Cards, all get together to talk a little bit about the weekend that was. We obviously get into the Premier League, the beautiful goal by Mr. Garnacho. But first, our first advertisement alert. We've got the ultimate guide to making money from sports cards, written by none other than the soccer market, soccer card mogul, XJ. Absolute awesome book that he threw together that is actually live on Instagram, guys. You don't want to miss this book. It's a great gift for over Christmas, a stocking stuffer, something to throw in for the younger kids. You got a nephew and niece that you have no idea what to get. It's a fun read. Honestly, talks a lot about just getting into sports cards, or if you're an avid, sports card enthusiast, how you can actually start to make money from it, analyzing the market, grading cards. Not one that you want to miss, even just for yourself, guys. So go buy that book on Amazon. I'll make sure to put a link in the description, but pass it over to Benzini. Let's go.
Episode 17. We have a special guest today, Jeremy, Downtown Soccer Cards, the legend. Jeremy, how you doing, bro?
Living the dream. Happy to be here.
Love it. Yo, how are the kids? The kids good?
Kids are with me. Wife's away. Have him solo. Big one's 6, so he's sleeping in my bed. So that's really, really nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
With you?
I mean, I'm not in my bed currently, but
obviously, yeah.
They'll
I'm just saying, I'm not.
It's cold out. It's cold out.
No, I have my buddy. He has a kid as well, and he's just like mad sick. But he's just like, it's his child, so he's just embracing the sick, So that's why I was like curious about if you're like sleeping on the couch or whatever type.
No, he's in the bed. He's in my wife's spot because she's not here.
I want to kick things off by asking you about your recent PSA submission. You posted today on the IG some of the nice new pickups. You got a bunch of cards back from this the grading company. Nice Rashford in the snake skin. I want to ask you, just as a collector, what was your favorite cards from your submissions? And also talk to me about your personal experience with the grading process. Are you a proficient cleaner before you grade? What's your process of looking over cards? And how do you decide what cards to submit? Is it based on has to have a chance to get a 10, or do you kind of differentiate depending on whether or not it's PC versus sort of potential value if it gets the 10?
Sure. So favorite card in the submission was the Rashy Snakeskin. I think that's, I don't know what the actual print run on that card is, but it's got to be fairly low. It's 15. Definitely a pop.
Is it 15?
I think they're 15.
I was going to say, I think it's sub 20.
Yeah. It's definitely a pop 1. It is just like it's a beautiful color match, and Rashy is a big part of my PC. So I'm pretty psyched on that one. Nice. In terms of grading process, I don't do anything. I wipe it down with like a like glasses cleaner, like a multifiber, whatever the fuck it's called.
Microfiber?
Yeah, microfiber.
Yeah.
That's all I do.
Perfect.
I think my eye has gotten pretty good. So like for stuff that's not PC, I only send stuff that I think has a shot at a 10. And I'm right often. For stuff that is PC, like I don't know, I had that Kobe Jones flawless on card auto. Like I knew that wasn't gonna gem. Like that's for me. I just want that in a slab.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. I mean, I love looking at the stories on Instagram where people post the submissions with all their cards and see what comes back. But it looks like overall it's pretty successful. But since you are a United fan yourself, we have to talk about a moment of brilliance that took place this past weekend. A small stint of 5 seconds of gameplay within a 90-minute match that was replicative of a moment that took place almost a decade ago when Wayne Rooney scored a similar goal. Mr. Alejandro Garnacho, is he living up now to the hype from the last year that, from a collector standpoint, has been seen in a lot of people's eyes? Over the moon. Is he starting to live into his high prices and the hype based off of one goal, or was it just a flash moment?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna pat myself on the back as I am wont to do, but unlike most of the soccer card hobby, I actually watch soccer, so I just don't think card prices and performance on the field have almost any correlation. So I don't think he's been bad. He just hasn't scored goals, and he hasn't scored like worldies. So I think, his prices are going to spike because he scored a goal that people are going to see on Instagram. But that doesn't mean like now he's playing well and before he wasn't.
You even like saying that's a worldie like gave me chills a little bit because like just pure love of the game, dude. Like we're gonna be watching that goal legitimately for the rest of our lives. Like at random moments when we have kids.
Yeah.
Obviously, Jeremy's already got kids. When they're getting older, you can be like, dude, like look at this shit. Like this happened. Blah blah blah. A whole story to it is like that goal was. It's like absurd.
Can I share my personal story with that goal?
Yeah, please do.
So we had been away at my parents' house for Thanksgiving. We woke up that morning, and my wife told me I'm Jewish, but my wife is not, and so we raise our boys both. So she was like, I want to get a Christmas tree today, and I was like, that's fine. We just have to be home at 11:30. Like I have to be home to watch the game. So at like 11:16, she was like, all right, I'm ready to go. I was like, no, like I told you I got to be home at 11:30. She was like, no, we're going. So I had to watch the beginning of the game on my phone, and we got to the Christmas tree place at like 11:31, and that goal was scored 3 minutes into the game.
Yeah.
So that goal was scored as my wife was looking at trees, and I let out a sound that's not supposed to be heard on a New York City street. And everyone looked at me like I was insane, like my mother had died, like
Yeah.
And my kids were terrified, but love of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Steve, were you able to get a chance to watch that live while you were across the pond?
Yeah, that was crazy madness. The first thing that went through my head though was just like, fuck, like a couple months ago I was planning on going to this game, but after like logistically I was just like, I don't want to spend the day in Liverpool like having to go up there and stuff. So like my first instinct was like, holy shit, that goal, and my second instinct was like, ugh, should have been at this game live. Like that would have been so much cooler. But still, that was man. I just remember like later on in the day, like, I'm just walking
that live. Bro.
Oh yeah.
Like
could you imagine?
There, I could not. I literally could not.
That would have been God. I could have said like I was at that game. Think about that for a second. You know what I mean?
You get to say that for the rest of your life too.
I know. I should just listen. Cut that out. I'm gonna say I was at the game. Cut that out. I was there. I was there.
Bro, for me, the most
I was in the country at least. I can say that.
Yeah, man. I mean, the energy probably was like way more insane than it was here. Like obviously, like Twitter was popping off, but like that happens over there. It's like definitely a buzzing factor.
You know what's funny though? It was hot right then and there, but like a day later, it was like I don't think anybody said anything to me about it. It's funny, like there's not that. At least I didn't pick up on it because I thought there'd be a lot more Manchester United fans there, but there really wasn't in London. I feel like London is so many people like passing through. Half these people are like foreigners or I don't know, at least where I was, like central London, half those people that don't even live there. That's the vibe I got at least. I didn't like intermingle enough to really know, but didn't really even see a lot of gear or anything.
I would assume, though, that if you were in Manchester, that everyone is United.
Oh, of course. But I'm just saying, in London, I didn't really see any United fans.
So give us a couple highlights of the trip, bud. Like, let's hear about it.
Did you ride the train, the train system?
Oh yeah, that's all I did. We were on the trains more often than not. Honestly, that's what it felt like. It's honestly refreshing too to like I don't take the subway that often in New York, but like the trains here, I feel like I got to eat off the floor. Like if I dropped a couple pieces of popcorn on the floor, I'd pick them up and like eat them. You know, like 5-second rule, of course. And it can't be something wet. It's got to be like popcorn or chips or crisps, actually crisps. and you got to like pick them off the floor and like eat them really quick. But yeah, everything was the tube is incredible.
Did you take the Circle Station?
Oh yeah, Circle, Piccadilly Line, Queen
Yep.
Victoria, you name it. We were all over the place. We were bouncing all over the place. So my girlfriend Taylor was like a master. You would have thought had been there before. She was like, "Oh, we got to transfer here, there." If I went back tomorrow, I wouldn't know how to get around. She was conducting the entire. Like I was just following her basically, but everything worked out great with the trains. Trains were awesome. But what else did we do? Well, Fulham game, of course. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you saw I threw up a couple stories. I was trying to live in the moment a little bit, so I didn't take too many photos or anything like that. But got to see Tim Ream after the game. My girlfriend was like, "Oh, let's go down to the field. Maybe we'll get like Ream's jersey or something, or like get a photo of Ream." And I was just like, I don't really want to do that. But you know what's funny though? Actually, there was a fan of Fulham who had like walked down to the field after the game. And I couldn't see because it happened. The guy was like running towards me, and I couldn't even pick up his jersey number. But one of the players for Wolves came over to the guy, ripped his jersey right off, and like gave it to him. He must have knew the guy or something like that because it seemed like there was some kind of like prior, like I don't know if it was like a handshake deal, like after the game, I'm getting your jersey or something. But that was pretty cool. I saw that happen. I was like, oh man, maybe I should have asked Reem. Like, have your one of one.
Could you have like gotten his attention and like maybe had him like come over? Like, what's the
The
vibe?
problem was I was on the Riverside, so at the end of the game, I was closer to the Wolves section, like in that corner. So like they were walking over there to like to the supporter section, and Fulham supporter section is. I'm facing the field from here is on the left of me, like 6 sections that way. So like they kind of went over there, thanked the fans, and then kind of walked across the field that way. So they weren't ever that close to me after the game. So it basically would have been a waste of time for me to go down there. And plus I'm 27 years old. I'm not going to go down there and start hollering for Tim Ream. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I got some good creep shots of Ream from the sidelines that I took. What else did we do? I mean, I'm sure other stuff will come to me. We did plenty of stuff. The food was really good. I had some real good food. Really good food. I went to the steak frites place, actually. Apparently, there's one in New York City, too. We had to wait an hour and a half in like 30-degree weather to go in there. Food was really good, but me and my girlfriend both agreed we would never wait an hour and a half again. It was really good, but it wasn't worth again. It was worth it for the one time, but I wouldn't wait an hour and a half again for the steak frites. But it was really good. That's the only thing on the menu. Salad, steak, French fries, and then like dessert. That's the only thing. But very good. Hour and a half wait. Then had some Guinness, stuff like that. I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, there was other stuff that happened, but we'll get to it as we go on. I'm sure stuff will pop into my. I'm exhausted right now, so I'm fucking playing for 8 hours.
No, you're good. You're good. Well, we were talking about the obviously the insane goal, but like obviously it's Everton, this, that, or whatever. But Man U like truthfully dominated that game, and
rightfully so. It's Everton.
Yeah, for sure.
Everton hasn't been bad. They have not been bad.
Yeah, but we should dominate
with
them.
the situation. I think with the situation, I personally thought like they were going to come in and wax them, but they did their job, and it's going to be when you guys go to Galatasaray tomorrow, or you're in Galatasaray right now, but when the match kicks off tomorrow, that'll definitely be a testing point of like whether or not the form is actually kind of kicked in gear here.
Yeah, no, I agree with that for sure.
We need Anthony Martial to be playing like fucking Superman. When he's playing like Superman, he just does crazy stuff.
He still shows flashes here. Exactly. It's just all about health with him. It's all about health
and consistency. You're right.
Yeah.
It's like he'll have like 6 minutes of brilliance, and then he is just nowhere to be found.
Can you believe he's been on the team for like it's like 7 or 8 years? It's like something absurd. How long he's been on the team?
Too, if I remember, honestly.
Yeah,
he went to Sevilla on loan though, I think.
Yeah. He did leave for. Yeah, that's true. But he's still been under team control for what, like 7 years?
Something like that.
It's like crazy to see. Jesus.
Tells you how long we haven't had a striker for.
Yeah, right? Oh my goodness. And he's never really has he ever scored more than like 10 goals?
I don't know if he's had a double-digit year.
Wow. Yeah, exactly. That's crazy. But last year too, he showed like signs of like, oh, whoa, Martial looks good, and then like he got hurt. Like he scored like 3 goals in like 4 or 5 games, and then he got hurt.
Was that Rashford's first time playing on the right wing, and at least some time, or has he ever played on the right wing before?
No, he plays on the right wing a lot, doesn't he?
he's never officially on the right wing. He's mostly on the left wing, and during the game they'll flip.
They'll switch. Yeah.
That was the first time that I saw him like listed as a right winger.
Okay.
That's right.
Thank God Garnacho was on the left wing. I mean, truthfully, that by far and away, like, man of the match for that goal forever and always. But a dude that Mr. Jeremy sent me last night even, and he was posting Kobe Mainoo. I don't know how you say his last name.
Yeah, Manu, I think it
Kobe
is.
Mainoo.
Mainoo, is it, or Manu? Mainoo?
It's Mainoo. I was listening to the announcers.
Okay. I don't. The announcers don't. I don't know.
I'll butcher it every time. But truthfully, I will say, like, when he was just coming out in the product or whatever, and he obviously still could just, like, he's so young, who knows what it'll be. But when I saw it coming out, I'm like, I've never even seen this kid before or whatever.
He looked really good in preseason, and then he got hurt.
He looked so good against Everton. That was his midfield, bro. Like, he was taking care of the ball, connecting everything. And then I had no idea he was only 18 too. Like,
wow.
Ceiling is definitely this kid's.
To be that tactically savvy and positionally aware as an 18-year-old playing as a 6 it's absurd.
Yeah.
It's absurd. I mean, like, I understand, like, being an 18-year-old and, you know, like Rooney on Club Brugge that everyone's freaking out about. Like, that's just athleticism and skill and pace.
Different level of talent.
That has nothing to do with, like, you know, like, understanding the game. And he might get there too. But, like, for Mainoo to understand the game like that at 18 is wild to me.
Yeah. Is Casemiro hurt right now?
Casemiro's hurt.
Yeah, he's hurt.
For how much longer?
I don't know.
A little while, I think.
So he's going to have some real opportunities to kind of just, like, keep cracking along here.
Yeah. It seems like your boy, what's his name, though? Hannibal's getting pushed down the depth chart again for some reason.
The thing that's weird with Hannibal is that, like, he's really just like a like-for-like Bruno replacement. So until Bruno's not playing, like, there's not really anywhere for him to play.
Yeah.
Like, he can play on the wing, but, like, that's not what position he plays.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, it's pretty weird because I just think about the first day when I met Steve and Jeremy by Wrigley Field. You guys were talking about Kobe Mainoo the very first day, saying, like, man, he's injured, but this is the guy. So that's pretty weird to think, like, 4 months ago, we were having this discussion. All of a sudden, he has, like, this game now. Everybody's eyes are on him. But does he start tomorrow against Galatasaray?
He has to. We have a chance.
I would assume so. With the only caveat that they're worried about re-injury.
Yeah.
So they don't want to start in a week. But I mean, it's him or Amrabat, and it's not like Amrabat's been great. So
that would surprise me because Amrabat was fantastic in the World Cup and also in the Serie A. And so, like, I don't know why he isn't working out at United, but
he's also playing out of position for the first 6 or 7 matches that he played. He was playing like
left back, I believe.
Yeah, which is great because he'll play wherever you ask him, which is, like, amazing. But
also the style of play in the Serie A is
it's
completely different than the Premier League. The Premier League is all about pace and power, and to be quite frank, Amrabat doesn't have either of those, really. So.
No, but neither does Casemiro anymore. And
that's true. But he's positionally, like...
Yeah, I think once... I mean, United's been just so chaotic for so long at this point that, like, it's just not a surprise to me that everyone comes in and looks bad.
Has anybody... I can't think of anybody... besides maybe Casemiro last year, who's, like, come in and been like, wow, that guy looks good. I can't remember anybody.
Ronaldo, before he got benched.
Oh.
I don't even know if Ronaldo looked like... I honestly cannot remember, outside of Casemiro, somebody they bought in and, like, immediately you were like, wow, that guy looks really good.
Bruno did, right?
Bruno did, yeah.
Like, Bruno was that guy.
What was that, 5 years ago now? That's what I mean. And I can hardly remember. Remember what he looked like immediately. You know what I mean? I'm saying, like, over the last 2-3 seasons, they've had some big guys they brought in, Anthony, and they wither away to fucking nothing. Like, even, like, Weghorst they bring in, the guy, like, I know, but, like, he did absolutely nothing. Like, these guys, like, I didn't even realize he was out there. For half the games he played, it was like he wasn't even out there.
I know.
And then he would, like, show flashes and then disappear. It's just, it seems like everybody they bring in, like, does 1 or 2 good things and then disappears for, like, stretches of games. And then it's...
Honestly, some people say it's not the players and it's not the managers.
Yeah.
When it's 5 managers in a row, And then when it's 25 transfers in a row, like maybe that's not the problem.
Yeah,
so,
I'm
like-
starting to think even if they signed Harry Kane would have got stretchered off within the first 2 matches or something ridiculous. Like something would have happened because I know Kane wouldn't wither away to nothing, so he would just get hurt immediately, and then like, ugh.
Yeah.
Couldn't beat Liverpool.
I mean, I'm dealing with the same problem still, even though it's like everything's going up. Ange Postecoglou, and then just a straight downhill roller coaster.
Bentancur out another.
Yeah, comes back from
Mullins
ACL
mad.
injury for a year.
Yo,
First start
same guy
back.
injured him too.
No, really? No,
Wow.
Matty Cash did him dirty again.
he was the one that tore the ACL. No way.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Wow.
Yo,
yeah,
so-
and then tore his ankle ligament literally this weekend on his first start back after a 9 months injury. So he's gone
Yeah,
till
I
he's
saw
gone
that.
February and March now. And
Mhm.
that's just
He was
devastating
tough,
as a
man.
player. And then Alex, you were saying the Copa America coming up in the summer, and just tough as a young guy who has like really good potential to just have to suffer those devastating injuries just back to back like that. But yeah,
The
brutal.
like for Ainge too, you already know, like after just the madness of Madison and everything that went down in that Chelsea game, like just getting the boys refocused, like it just keeps getting hit and it's like he's I don't
Yeah,
know, like
Played
he had an
Manchester City this weekend.
yeah, it's
Another
like
one.
I don't
The
know.
difference
He's-
is unfortunately, like as good as you guys have been, is your squad is thinner. It just is.
Yeah, I was gonna say the depth
Yeah, it
does not existent.
Yeah.
So the drop off between the guys you're talking about and whoever the backups is tremendous.
It's terrible. Yeah, 100%. And then-
Honestly, if you look at Manchester United, like fucking the Spurs make United look like they have depth, which is not good, which is scary.
Yeah, entirely.
We consider that
Um,
depth, Steve.
Yeah.
So, and again, though, it goes back to that's Daniel Levy's fault for not having at least a fair level of depth. Like we're calling up like these like U21s and U20s now to sit on the bench who have like no experience playing in like big leagues, and so just gonna be depressing until February until some of the names. Come
Like,
down.
do you guys even have? Because I don't follow like the Spurs like you do, obviously. Like, do you even have like you know how United has like these perfect like Hannibal, Manu, or however you want to pronounce? Like, do you even have like those kind of guys that have like their talent level might be there, but like you know what I'm saying? But
It's like Ben Davies, Eric Dyer, like these types of guys just aren't going to get the job done ever,
yeah, but you don't have like just young kids though that the talent level's there, but they're just not ready for first
That
team
is
reps
what's
yet.
crazy
You know
to
what I
me.
mean? Like it doesn't seem like you guys even have that.
It's weird because Tottenham U21 and U18, we're top of the Premier League in both of those, I think. At least now. We start off the first 10 weeks along with
Fulham
the
is
first
up
team.
there too, believe it or
Yeah,
not.
and we've got a couple nice younger names, but in terms of like guys like Oliver Skip on the bench, and we've got this new Valise, this Argentine striker that we signed in the summer who hasn't gotten any game time, but he's coming on in the end of the games for 10, 20 minutes. It's just like, it's not like a Lucas Moore where it's like you feel like he can come and actually provide a moment or two now that we lost Lucas. So we really need to do something in January, whether that means, I mean, there's rumors circulating around all different names. Even Santiago Jimenez was in the woodwork.
Yeah, I saw that.
dude,
like-
he's
Jed
Vanguard.
Spence is on loan, right?
Who?
Jed Spence.
Jed Spence, yeah, he's on loan at Stade Rennais. He's phenomenal. And
You could use him right now.
we could use him so badly right now at right back over Pedro Porro and Emerson Royal. I'd just bring him in as like a winger, right wing. I'd play him at right wing,
Yeah.
So yeah, another one that's just like brutal.
I mean, when the only real in-depth experience I have with Spurs is watching the Amazon Prime All or Nothing documentary with Jose that year.
Yeah.
And like Jose had, I mean, it's like all painted through a documentary, obviously, but he had like that ability. Like he went into the academy and like brought guys up. Like I literally think it was Emerson Royale or whatever. Maybe it was the guy that he like brought up at the time when they were dealing with like moving Danny Rose out or whatever. And the interactions with whoever the guy is, bald dude, like just always seemed like he's just
Daniel,
like
Levy.
Daniel Levy,
yeah, him. Yeah, like he's just like there's no real leadership or control. Like he's kind of like I don't know.
Yeah, he
kinda
does
like a douche.
multiple roles too, like at the football club, right, Sean? If I'm not wrong, he does
He
like
was.
the recruiting. Like Davey does, he does Daniel Levy
Even a
does
lo-
recruiting,
yeah,
and he does like all the club. Like he does like He has way too many hats to focus on talent.
Well, this is what I was going to ask. Yeah, it's like, do you guys? I mean, United and Liverpool fans. It's like you hear with United, the Glazers, the owners, and you had mentioned. I think that's what you were insinuating when you're talking about the managers and players not being the same over and over. Are you saying like the issue was the owners? Is that where you're going, Jeremy, when you mentioned that, or what were you kind of pointing at?
The issue is definitely the owners because in any business everything comes from the top.
Yeah.
But the issue, not being inside it, it's like not totally fair to say. But from what I can see, it seems to me that the issue with United is that it's run more as a commercial enterprise than it is as a footballing enterprise.
Right.
So they're much more concerned with partnerships and stock market, et cetera, than they are of running a proper football department. It's like the person who's in charge of the day-to-day of the team is not a football guy. So I think that's the thing that's going to change when the new Ineos owner comes in, is that he's putting actual footballing people in charge.
Yeah, I think that's what is Radcliffe is getting a quarter of the team, right? And that was like his first thing is he wanted to be in charge of.
So the deal hasn't been officially announced yet, but my understanding of the deal as it has been reported is that he's buying 25% of the team, but with that 25% comes full footballing control.
Mm-hmm.
And then with the second part of the deal is he then has the ability to buy a next 25 to get a full control of the team at whatever the current valuation is of the team. So presumably the valuation of the team will continue to grow and he'll have to pay more on the next 25% than he has on this 25, but he gets control of football immediately.
Yeah. I know. It's so relatable too. Like, it's so frustrating to see someone like Daniel Levy, who's focusing on building like an F1 go-kart racing track underneath the Tottenham Stadium instead of having the depth in his squad in January. And it makes me like, damn, like if I supported Brentford Bees or something like that, like that's a club you can get behind who's like investing entirely in their growth in the Premier League and stuff, and they're spending small money for high potential players and really like optimizing their entire situation. And to be a Brentford fan must be just like enthralling, right? Like you've got this small club and like you're taking the games to like the top six every single weekend. And guys like Jan Vissa and Buemo, it's just, I don't know. I kind of envy situations like that where it's like there's not as much of an expectation to have like a big name team perform, and it's just like a nice community team. But
yeah,
I feel this exact same way about Brighton. Like if I was starting over as a fan and I could just pick a team based on like what I'm watching every week, and I'd be a Brighton fan. It wouldn't even be a question.
You know what? People think all the time because I'm such a big Tim Ream fan that like Fulham is like my second team. When in reality they're really not. Like I have one team, it's Manchester United, and then like I'll casually watch Fulham because I like Tim Ream. But after going there and like just like I don't know, there's something about the camaraderie there. 1, 2, I didn't realize that the owner is the same guy that owns the Jaguars. And that guy, there was some stuff around the stadium, like with like quotes by him and things. I could see him turning them into like he gets a taste of the Premier League money for a few more years. I don't know, man.
They've been a yo-yo team.
But no, I know, but I'm just saying. But I don't know if you saw this. I had no idea this was happening. He's renovating the fuck out of Craven Cottage.
Yeah.
Like the whole Riverside is going to be like something I've never seen before. Like they're putting a fucking pool in there. Like it's going to be crazy.
It's going to be just a Jag. What if we just put the Jag Stadium?
Yeah, dude, I'm walking around. It doesn't make sense for him to put that much money in and then get relegated to championship because it's just the money's not going to be there.
I
know he's
so
rich,
funny,
but like there's literally a pool in there.
I know.
Like, look it up. I had no idea they were renovating it. I'm like walking around, like getting beers and stuff, and I'm like, why is everything like plywood and stuff?
They say
It's
like
because
change them to the Fulham Jaguars or
the
something.
River Thames. They say
Yeah.
up in the river.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I'm telling you, I could see it. We'll see. Like you said, they've been a yo-yo team for the last 5-6 years.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I can't see him wanting to. It just doesn't make sense to renovate the stadium, make it. I can't imagine how much it's costing him. But if you look up, I didn't look up the plans. I was just looking at like some of the stuff they had in the stadium, like of the layouts and different things it was going to be like. But one of his quotes is like, "This is going to be like something that nobody's ever seen in the Premier League before." And like I was looking at it, I was like, Jesus Christ, this is going to be beautiful. So I don't know. We'll see, but I don't know. There's a mixture there though, where you have like the small club, even though Fulham isn't that small of a club, but it has that small club feel. but then a big money owner and somebody who has a history. I mean, he owns a fucking NFL team. So I don't know. There's something about that. I could see them. I think they are now my second team. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Tell me, we've had plenty of conversations about the old Anthony Robinson, my favorite.
He had a nice
American
assist
player.
in the game. He had a really nice assist. I don't even know if it was an assist, but he definitely crossed. He crossed into the box.
It was definitely an assist.
It was an assist. I couldn't tell if somebody else got like a head on it or something like that. But
So
yeah, it was a beautiful play.
What's the official review watching him play? What are we?
Well, I'll tell you this because in the World Cup, he kept losing the fucking ball. It was driving me nuts. He had 0 touch. Every time he touched it, it would like go 10 feet in front of him. But he looked a lot better, like in this game for sure. He was definitely one of the more dominant players on the field overall, on either side in that game for sure. He looked really good. Raul is like invisible. I didn't realize he was out there. Raul Jimenez, one of the big off-season signings from the Wolves.
What was the vibe of like just the speed and the energy of the game at that level? Because I mean, that's probably the highest level soccer you've ever watched in person. Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, that's definitely the highest level.
I mean, who were like dudes that actually stood out? Whether it was like even warming up or like any part where you're like looking at this dude and you're like, holy shit, you know?
Well, like I said, I was like surprised at how invisible Raul Jimenez was because he was like their big, he was the replacement for Mitrovic, who I think Mitrovic had like 12 or 15 goals last year. Like, he's a solid player. I mean, he was basically not a poacher, but most of his stuff was like from inside the box, but still he's scoring goals.
Exactly.
But that, and then what's his name? He-Chan Wang, right? Or Wang, however it's pronounced. He was definitely noticeable every time he touched the ball. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else that I saw. Who's Harrison Reed sucks, I can tell you that. Overrated, stiff. He gave the ball over a couple of times. He stinks. It was more so like guys that I saw that was just like, that guy's terrible. And Harrison Reed was one of them. Jimenez was one of them. I'm trying to think. Oh, what's his name is good? Iwobi or
Iwobi.
He can play. He's
just like looking at his hair, Steve. Come on.
No, he's a
That was his first goal for the team though, like all year.
No, but he just looks like a specimen. Like he looks like he can play.
Name too, like he was like where was he
related to JJ Okocha?
Where's that? Everton.
Is he?
Yeah,
Jeremy's gonna start collecting them.
Hold up. I am 99% sure. I saw it in an Instagram video the other day, but I believe in it. So
I know he's Nigerian, but
yeah, I think he is the nephew.
That's awesome.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
JJ Okocha I've said it before. I'll say it here again. The most underrated player of all time, and I stand by that.
His maternal uncle is former professional footballer JJ Okocha.
Wow.
Yeah. I heard that the other day.
Did you start collecting them? Now you have somebody to collect like present day.
You have to. I mean, yeah. Wowie is a baller. He's a proper.
Yeah,
baller.
he looks. I'm like just from the eye test. He looks good. He definitely looks good.
Enormous.
Yeah. But I'm trying to think from Wolves though. There was nobody that really, like I said, He-Chan, who obviously everybody knows him. He looked good. Jose Sa net looked like ass, to be honest. He made like one good save. That was it.
Did Pablo Sarabia come on for the Wolves? He scored a phenomenal goal the other day against Tottenham to win the game. That if not for Garnacho's bicycle kick, would probably be the goal of the season in the Premier League. But he also is like someone that I feel like is super underrated. That kind of goes under the radar.
Yeah. You got to see Willian too. That's sick.
Yeah, exactly.
Brazilian legend.
Yeah, but at this stage of his career, he's basically like he scored 2 penalties. Actually,
it's still sick that you can say that though.
No, exactly. That I saw Willian, but
got the 3 points though, man.
Oh yeah, that was great, dude. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, dude, these Wolves fans are out of their mind. There was this one guy. That I swear to God looked like a serial killer. He had a T-shirt on. He was probably like 24, 25 years old. All he had was a T-shirt on. He had this like fucking face. Like, literally looked like he was a cold-blooded killer. And, like, he was going on with the chants. They had all these kind of... I couldn't understand anything they were saying. One of them literally sounded like... my girlfriend was supposed to look it up. I don't know if she ever did. But she was going to look up, like, the Wolves, like, team chants and stuff like that. And one of them sounded like, Bellingham pulled your leg. But I didn't know what the fuck they were saying. Like, I couldn't understand any of them. But anyways... this one guy was slamming the fucking thing, and he was like flipping off people after every time the Wolves scored or like tied it up because they never had the lead, but they tied it up a couple times. Oh man, I want to rip that guy's head off. If he's out there,
He's probably gonna have you in a headlock already. Taking
he
you out,
might. I want to rip his head off, but I was like further enough away where he never would have got to me. But it was intense.
Guy was just being obnoxious.
Yeah, he was a fucking tool bag. Like he got like a couple times, like the security had to go over to him. He was just like doing a lot of screaming, and he was like that guy that would like he would just stand with his hands up and like give you like the eyes and like stare at you. Like he was doing that to like the Fulham fans. Like, every time he would do like,
stood back up and did the same thing to him, just like mirror him.
Oh man, he was relentless. But he thought he was. Oh, that was the other thing too. He was looking for the camera the whole time. Like whenever the camera was coming around the corner, he'd be like looking in the camera, like trying to get over in front of the camera and do his shit. Tool bag.
Yeah, that's funny. Thanks for sharing all that. We got to find a point in the future to find a way to get everybody over there and get a Whatnot community to go to a match because that'd be electric for sure. But before we get into the last segment of the promotion and relegation, I want to bring up one more discussion about the cards. MLS drops tomorrow with the Messi and Inter Miami kit. Jeremy, you're our guest. I want to take it to you first. Will you be ripping MLS, the new product coming out? Do you have any thoughts about potentially the checklist or what you've seen so far, if anything at all, and any just overall thoughts about the product?
So I was already in one break tonight. I don't know. MLS paper is like it won't hold its value. I have seen the Messi goat card. It's kind of kitschy, but it's cool in a fun enough way. My illegitimate son, John Tolkien, is on the list. So
yep. Oh, there you go. Okay.
That gives me incentive. And then there's another young Red Bull kid who I've been talking about who's coincidentally from the same tiny town in Jersey that I'm from, whose name is Daniel Edelman. And I had hoped he was going to be on last year's checklist, but he is on this year's checklist. So
oh, nice. Okay.
He's my other chase.
Sweet.
All right. So I'll see you tomorrow morning, Jeremy. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, deal.
Why, Ben, you're ripping tomorrow morning?
Yeah, ripping it. I was supposed to rip it today, but had to postpone until tomorrow.
Jeez, yeah.
11 a.m.
I'll probably rip like 2 boxes, but that's stuff shit for the most part.
That'll be fun. The one case.
MLS paper always has like a really strange checklist. I'm most familiar with Red Bull, obviously. There's 5 guys on the Red Bull checklist, 2 of which I'm psyched about. 2 of the 5 are their 2 rookies who played a combined 9 minutes this year.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, it's like I just don't. I mean, I think they're fine enough prospects. I think best case scenario is they're MLS starters. Like it's not like they're like home run, big time, high ceiling prospects.
Like Alphonso Davies level.
Not even close.
No.
Not even close.
Like McFarland from NYCFC level.
Yeah, probably. Like I think they're different positions, but best case scenario is like they're Paul Arriola types.
Does it just come down to like whoever's making the decisions at tops does not give a shit about who's on the checklist for?
It's not that they don't give a shit; it's that they don't know anything about soccer. There's no way these guys know anything about MLS soccer. I guarantee it.
We need to get someone on that can tell us about that process. Like,
I also think it's just like they make them so far in advance.
Yeah.
That they just don't have good information. So the Minnesota, I know I talked to a bunch of Minnesota guys. They're all pissed that Timo Pukki isn't on the checklist. But
the guys at Tops probably don't even know what Timo Pukki is because they don't have a Premier League contract. So why would they?
I don't even think he was on the team when the product was made.
Well, neither was Messi, and then they put Messi in
inserted
it.
Him. Timo Pukki's not a big enough name that they actually like.
Timo Pukki it's like one of the best players in MLS right now.
Right.
I knew that was going to happen too because he scored 30 goals every year in a championship. I knew he was going to come to MLS.
It's an interesting thing you said about making the product way too early because I think of Topps Chrome, we get Topps Chrome in the summer for the year before. It's like by that point, it's like, what are we? It's just not even. It's fun to rip, but in the context of current players, it's just absolutely atrocious. I'm just wondering, why doesn't Topps just sort of sacrifice one year and say, we're just going to sacrifice this year and catch up. We're going to catch up now and just scrap one year. Let's get up to date. Let's release in October after the second game week and be able to rip the product while Champions League is in place and just forget about the year before and use that extra 2 months to get back on track.
And that's how you have scenarios like what was that kid on Leipzig? who his price is Sidney
Raybiger, Sidney Raybiger, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
like has a 7-minute cameo. Everyone freaks out.
Yeah.
They've watched. If I'm being generous, they watched the 7 minutes, but they probably didn't. Prices skyrocket based on like nothing because he's presumably the rookie to change, and that's the end of his career.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
I remember one of the first thumbnails I made for Steve. We put Ray Baker on the front.
Well, I remember you put him in there, and I was like, "Oh, why'd you put him in there?" But I don't want to say anything
Yeah.
because at that point he was already like, falling down. Sidney Raybiger.
he's
I know I
not
can't use that anymore because he's on there. I'm like, fuck. And you know who the other guy on there is?
Oh, give me a sec. If I close my eyes, I might be able to picture it.
Who was someone
Nah,
hyped?
bro, I can't.
I think it's Anthony Alanga. Anthony Alanga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there were two rookie boys for the
Yeah,
for the time or
exactly.
whatever was going
I mean,
on.
Raybaker's not even playing in the Bundesliga 2 now.
Is he not?
Oh, he's not even in the second one now? Oh my god.
Where is he?
He's in the Bundesliga. He didn't even get loaned. He got sold outright to somewhere in the Bundesliga 2, and he's not playing there.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's tough.
I wonder if what's his name is still holding on to his cords. Matt was big on his cords.
I will say
He was.
Carvalho, the Liverpool rookie that's loaned out at Leipzig, he
He's
got
not
subbed
even
on
playing.
today. His goal got called offsides, which was unfortunate. I mean, that was a heater of a game. I know Steve probably didn't catch any of the Champions League, but
No.
Jeremy, you catch any of the Champions League today?
I didn't. I'm in my real life. I have an apparel business, so I was catching up on Cyber Monday stuff today.
Oh,
Ooh, sorry.
busy day. Yeah, busy day of the year.
Yeah, real work has been insane the last
What was the Cyber Monday sale? What percentage were you giving?
5% off.
5. Yeah, no, we're not cheap. I don't like that word, but we're so competitively priced to begin with. So we don't do huge sales. So we were 15% off, which for our stuff is
No, that's good
a
enough.
lot.
Yeah.
But we had a good day.
Nice.
That's good.
Yeah.
Sweet.
It's good to hear.
Yeah.
Much obliged.
So, yeah, let's get into the last segment. Let's just talk a little bit more about our week. We've been rambling a lot this one, but we'll continue to do so with our promotions and relegations. I'll kick things off. Had some family in town for some Thanksgiving. My promotion was, although I did not for the first time, I think, in my entire life, have a turkey on Thanksgiving dinner. The feast was even better than I could have imagined. An array of different pasta, salads, desserts. So it's a phenomenal Thanksgiving feast. Overall, like 10 out of 10. My relegation was we started the first inaugural pumpkin throwing competition in which we had some like pumpkins from early November on the front porch that were getting ready to be disposed of. And we thought it would be a good idea for everybody to grab a pumpkin. We had a large group of family members and sort of shot put them across the yard, like sort of this long straight in the yard into this fescue. And sort of embarrassingly, I somehow managed to really fuck up my wrist while flinging like a 4 pound, 5 pound pumpkin across the yard.
About
And,
it's gonna be in a brace for the next
exactly.
break.
Yeah, and so like I'm like, this is pathetic. It was terrible. It was like the third
You should
throw,
just
I
tape
was
it up like Suarez and just have like
Yeah.
a tape.
Well, what I was doing, I was using the stem and doing a sort of like discus throw initially because I got the heaviest pumpkin, and it was working well. But by the third throw, the pumpkin stem broke off, so I was forced to, try something else. So what I did was I tried like a big like bowling roll, and when I got to like the bottom part, like my fingers just gave out and like it hyperextended like this part of the wrist, and yeah, that's the relegation.
Were you
At
out
least
for
you
the
didn't
count for the
click-clack
rest of it, or
yourself.
did you keep
Huh?
powering through? Did you keep powering through, or were you out for
Yeah,
the count?
I powered through. I drew for first. I drew for first place. Took podium. So it's,
Ooh, not a big deal.
made the morning news. Made the morning
Bring
news.
back Formula One Soraya. It's been a while since you
exactly.
ripped some Formula One.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it's
that's
probably
just-
right.
So,
Good.
so if you see on the streams the little wrist swelling, you'll know what it's about.
Ice.
That's right. Steve, Promorella.
Should I do relegation first? No, we'll do promo first. Promo. London Deal or No Deal. Well, not London, England. Deal or No Deal is still a thing over there, apparently. Great show I used to watch in the U.S. Good pastime. Howie Mandel was the... Have any of you guys ever seen Deal or No Deal?
Yeah, of
That
course.
show was
Yeah,
epic.
Howie Mandel used to be the host. But The funny thing about Deal or No Deal in England, I found myself watching it a lot, is that it's just like regular Joe Schmoes that are opening the boxes. It's not like models. It's like Tony who works at like the fucking hardware stores, like opening these boxes and stuff like that. It's just funny because it's like it's like this 40-year-old like middle-aged dude who, like I said, literally works at a hardware store, and there's like a 9-year-old woman. There's a 20-year-old guy. There's some guy who thinks he knows everything. This guy Jamie, he kept being like I swear I think there's 25,000 in your basket or whatever it is, and it never was. He was always
impressive.
wrong. Yeah, but this guy was driving me nuts. But that show is awesome, man. The suspense, I forgot how great it was until I was watching it with my girlfriend. She was like, this isn't like, we were just sitting there. She was getting anxious watching for these people. It was crazy. What a great show. So made me want to move to London just for the show, to be honest. Relegation. It's tough. I had a hell of a week. Oh, I was sitting on the tarmac today for like an hour once I landed in JFK. It was terrible.
That's brutal.
Splitting headache. 8-hour flight. Like we landed like 10, 20 minutes above schedule. It was like perfect. And then we're sitting there and all of a sudden the pilot comes on and it's like, yeah, sorry folks. It looks like we're going to be here 5-10 minutes. 20 minutes goes by. Sorry, it's just informed it's going to be another 10 minutes or less. 20 minutes goes by. Oh yeah, it was Virgin Airways. They're all British. Everybody on it. The food, by the way, the food was incredible on Virgin Airlines. It was like you were at like an all-you-can-eat thing, like one of those Brazilian barbecues where they kept coming around with food until you told them not to. It was ridiculous. I'm serious. It was like mac and cheese. Then it was like tea time with biscuits and fucking curdled cream or something like that. It's like a little better than butter. I don't know. It was ridiculous, though. They came out with ice cream pops at one point. I was like, this is fucking fantastic. So Virgin Atlantic sponsored me. Pro Packs. We're going to get that shit plastered on the side of the plane. You're going to see. I want it on the belly of the plane. Pro Packs on the belly of the plane. Yeah, exactly. He's got the sticker handy. Perfect. Exactly.
Need your face right next to it, though, on the bottom plane. Just like in a big old
definitely.
Smile.
100%. All right, Zini, you're up next. Because I'm just going in the order of what I'm seeing here. So, Zini.
All right. So, I was challenged, I want to say, this year to prepare a dish for Thanksgiving. Normally, I don't prepare anything. It's my week off from cooking. But I was challenged to make the famous mashed potato.
Ooh.
Yes. And
what kind of potatoes did we use?
We used Yukon Gold or Idaho potatoes. That is the key to making a good potato is I think it has a higher starch content, so it creates a creamier blend between the milk, the butter, and Alex, bro, come on, man.
Yukon Gold is the way to go.
So I was tasked by my girlfriend's dad, actually. He was joking with the chef Zini. Can't joke with the chef. I'm gonna go. You
and Papa, like you guys chill, like you have a good relationship with your girl's dad.
Yeah. I mean, we've been dating for 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, how good can the relationship be?
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a good dude. So yeah, he challenged me, and I brought the potatoes. I prepared them, dude. Screw peeling potatoes because we had like this flimsy ass like Skinner, and I was like there like 30 minutes like getting all the potatoes ready, and then actually I was not expecting this, but I'm very humble, and a couple people at the gathering were like, yo, these potatoes are really good. Who made those potatoes? And immediately microphone's like, oh, Ben made them. Yeah, and I'm like, well, and I was just like, yeah, I made them.
The chef was humble.
The chef was being humble, bro. I was just like, yeah, just doing my due diligence, doing my duty to provide during the feast. Nice. And that was the promo. Relegation, though. Oh my God, man. Relegation. So it's pouring rain in sunny South Florida at night. We have to take the dogs out. We're watching a Rottweiler, 110-pounder. So this guy takes monster dookies. I'm telling you, monsters. Like we have a 20-pound dog, and the dookies are the size of her. So we took the big dog out first. Obviously, it was clearly a mistake, and then we had to take the small dog out. Little did I know, it's raining. It's dark out. I can't see anything on the ground floor. And I walk out into the patio and I step on like a little cushion in the backyard. And I'm like, oh, it's just wet grass, right? Definitely just wet grass. No, dude, I swear I stepped in every square centimeter of that dookie from the dog. I walked inside. My sandal weighed like 3 pounds. So then I had to clean up dog shit off my sandal for like 20 minutes before I'm ready to go to sleep. So I was a bit frustrated. So yeah, story time.
Yeah, it's tough.
Wow, brutal.
It's rough. All right. Well, we'll save Jeremy until the end since he's the guest here. We'll end with the guest. Alex, come on, dude.
Promotion is Luton Town. Obviously, with Everton taking the big point loss, it's looking like those lads might actually be able to stay up. Just kind of when that first happened, I was like, oh, well, I wonder who actually got bumped up. And I know all of us personally said Luton was going to be like a team. Everyone and their mother said that Luton's going to be a team that gets relegated. And there's so much of the season left. But how painful would it be for Everton to have gotten knocked down, but then Luton gets to stay up as a result? Like, that would be pretty electric. I don't know. But then relegation is at the Thanksgiving this year. Was a little tough. My favorite dish every year is stuffing. Like, I love taking stuffing for leftovers all the time.
Sausage in the stuffing?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just eat what's in front of me. Like, I never
Right.
I assume
if
like,
it doesn't have
it
sausage in it, I don't want any of it.
Really?
Yeah, it's got to have sausage.
But there was no stuffing at the old dinner this year. Mama accidentally messed up the stuffing. She goes hard in the kitchen. Like, Mama Myers knows how to cook, but yeah, did not come strong with the stuffing this year. So I was honestly kind of depressed and sad about that. But
man, that's tough. You should have left. You should have
Yeah,
You should have took your talents to Boston Market. You get yourself some stuffing over there.
I made sure all of my siblings knew about when I was walking around. I was like, yo, no stuffing this year. That was tough. But that's
you
the
had to deliver
relegation.
the bad news as what? You're the middle sibling or the oldest sibling?
The oldest, yes.
You had to deliver the bad news.
It's your responsibility to deliver the bad news to the rest of the gang. Yeah.
Yeah.
You must have like a real dickhead too doing it.
Yeah, no, I mean not. Yeah, I was upset. I was sad. I wouldn't say I was upset. I was sad. Like, it was. I was like.
I look forward to the stuffing every year because I literally only have stuffing. I mean, obviously not this year because I wasn't home, but I literally only have stuffing on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So I've had it like 15 times in my life.
That's
Actually, sorry, I'm 27. I've had a lot more than that.
Is stuffing a normal side for people to have outside of Thanksgiving? Like, what meal do you have
I
stuffing?
never
on?
have it outside of
Nobody
Thanksgiving.
ever has
I
stuffing.
always go and get if I'll roll through Aldi, especially I'll always just catch the 5-minute made one or whatever. And
Stovetop? Miss
Yeah.
you with that shit.
Bro,
Oh
I'm
my
just saying.
God.
Yes, I know, but my eyes see the packaging and my stomach tastes the truthful stuffing. And every time I make it, of course, I eat the entire thing. And it's literally just butter, that fluffs up this bread. And it is always such a painful mistake after. But yeah, so that's the promotion and relegation.
Jeremy, we're kind of putting you on the spot. Did you manage to think of a promotion or relegation on your end from
I'm good.
the past week? All right, let's hear it.
So my promotion actually piggybacks on a lot of what was said already. So growing up, Thanksgiving was sort of my family's holiday. That was the thing that everybody got together for. So when I was 8, we used to have 40 to 50 people Thanksgivings. And over the years, kids grow up, whatever, it's gotten smaller and smaller. This year was a little bit of a throwback. It was, I think there was 29 of us. Wow. So it was nice to get the family together, all that stuff. We don't see each other that often. So that felt like a win.
Nice.
But I cooked the stuffing and I made a sticky rice Chinese sausage stuffing.
Oh, as long as there's sausage in there, that's what I want to hear.
I gotta tell you, it was really good.
Big sausage.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
It was,
I'm a big sausage guy.
Sticky rice,
Clip that.
Chinese sausage, char siu, which is Chinese barbecue pork,
Nice.
mushrooms, some other stuff. Oh boy, it was.
Steve,
good.
close your mouth, bro. Come on.
My mouth is closed.
Salivating over here.
Wait, so you did it with sticky rice?
Sticky rice.
So you have to soak that shit and all that?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Sounds
it
like
was
a real pain in the ass.
No, it was my parents. Luckily, have a like a Chinese rice maker.
Mm-hmm.
So like making rice very easy.
Nice.
But it was
That's
a
good.
overwhelming success.
Sounds good.
And then my relegation.
Not to toot my own horn.
No, it's good. I will toot my own horn on this. It was really good. My relegation's not all that much of a relegation, but I'll take the L. You guys will see once you have kids. When your kids do something like bad and you laugh, it's over. Like it's just there's no reprimanding after that. So I was with my big one the other day, and we were watching something on TV, and I don't remember what we were watching. And I saw like the glint in his eye, which usually means I'm about to do a bad thing, and I know I'm going to get away with it. And he turns to me, and he points to whoever it was on the TV, and I wish I could remember what we were watching, but I don't. And he goes, he's 5, by the way. Preface, my son is 5. He goes, look at that dumb asshole. And that was the reaction I had.
From the 5-year-old. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Brilliant.
And now I know that that's a thing he's going to say 45 times because he said it once and I laughed.
I like that as an insult now, other than just dumbass. It adds so much more. I've never heard that.
Yeah,
no,
it's a dumbass.
it's not a thing I say.
Amazing.
So I don't know where he heard it.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Definitely not his dad.
My kids are gonna have the foulest mouths on the face of the earth. God, I have such a foul mouth. That's terrible. Cut that too. I don't want my mom to hear that. She gets pissed off. She gets pissed off when I curse on here. I'm pretty good at. I have to say though, I have a foul mouth, but I can turn it off pretty quickly too. But I
always have to hesitate myself. Like,
really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, bro. Because especially when I was coaching high school, it was a lot easier because you can't just like let it fly. Like you can definitely like let it go a little bit. But at club, doesn't matter. Like I can completely let loose, and just like not with my 2011s, but with the high schoolers, it's definitely pretty casual or whatever. So
Well, go ahead.
No, yeah. Basically, was saying like so. Like if I was playing video games, my good buddy who's a youth pastor, like sometimes I'll hop in like his games he's playing with some of his students or whatever. And so like definitely I cannot be. I mean, there's times where like I'll just like let one slip and it'll hit me up, be like, hey, no big deal, blah blah blah. But then once I'm in that like frame of mind, I will be like about to either drop an F-bomb, whatever is coming out of my mouth while I'm playing video games, and I'll just have to be like I'll literally like because I'm in the middle of a sentence and then and then I just transition into another word, and it's always just so painful.
Yeah. On that note, though, I want to end it on the perfect way. Jeremy, appreciate you coming by today, and we'll see you all. I don't know, like fucking next week. See you later, bitches.